Gotta give it up for Coach. Big shout out to the coaches. Shout out all the coaches. You see, my coach, he believed in me.
And welcome to another edition of Tough Talk with Coach P. I, of course, am your man, Coach P. And can you believe it? We are already at episode 17 of this journey. Today, we have an amazing episode. We have the one and only Los Angeles Rams great, Kamren Curl. And this young man is very special to me because I've known him since he was a very young man. I consider him my nephew. His dad and I are very, very close. So I wanted to make sure you guys got an interview that was going to be different than most of the interviews that you see young Kamren Curl involved in. This is going to be a little bit personal. We're going to talk about his youth career. We're going to talk about high school. We're also going to talk about college. And of course, this journey that has him as one of the premier safeties in the National Football League for the Los Angeles Rams. In last week's episode 16, we talked to the incomparable Montel Allen, and it was a lot to do about the college recruiting process. And as we all know, Montel is a recruiting guru. So you definitely want to tune into episode 16. If you are someone who is in the process of being recruited, if you want to be recruited and you want to learn some gems about the recruiting game. That was an amazing, amazing episode. And see, this is why you never want to miss an episode of Tough Talk with Coach P, because we are definitely a resource for young coaches out there and anyone that is in this game. Again, I'm a coach. I love this game. Shout out to the Skyline Tigers, 11U. We going all the way this year. I'm going to be running that offense. And man, we're going to be doing some great things in the city of San Diego. So again, we're going to take a quick commercial break. But before we do that, if you have not subscribed to our Spotify channel, please subscribe to our Spotify channel, Tough Talk with Coach P. Also, you can find us on all social medias, Coach P Tough Talk. That is Coach P Tough Talk. You are listening to Tough Talk with Coach P. I am your man, Coach P. We'll be right back after this word from the Standard.
The Standard is a youth mentorship program empowering young men ages 8 to 14 through athletics, personal growth, and structured guidance. Built on the values of discipline, teamwork, and integrity, the Standard connects sports with life lessons to help participants develop confidence, leadership, and strong character on and off the field.
And welcome back to Tough Talk with Coach P. I, of course, am your man, Coach P, and I have a very special guest on the show with us today, Mr. Kamren Curl. Kam Curl, how are you, my brother? What's going on with you out there in LA, man?
I'm doing good, man. You know, just living life. I appreciate you for having me on, man, and us being able to connect.
Man, for real, man. Now, again, man, a lot of people may not know this, man. I've known this young baller since he was like 8 years old, man. You know what I'm saying? I remember days when we used to compete playing youth football, and to see you now as an NFL player, and not just an NFL player, but a premier NFL player at your position, I can't be any prouder of you than if I was your own dad, man. So first of all, congratulations on that and all the hard work. So we'll start there, you know, in a dad, you know what I'm saying? Tell me how being a dad has changed you.
It changed me a lot because it's like, it's not about me no more.
Yes.
Like, you know, all the decisions I make, like, it's about the kids, it's about the family, you know, what's best for the families. It kind of like rewire your brain a little bit, but like, I'm loving it, man. Like, I love my little ones, man. They make me laugh. I like watching them grow.
Listen, what are the kids doing that instantly reminds you of you as a kid?
They rough, like they real rough. They climbing, jumping on stuff, and I'm like, yeah, that's what I used to do. Like, so I just got to deal with it for real, because that's how they gonna be.
Right. Now, listen, I know, and I have these conversations with Elijah as well. And for those of you who don't know, Elijah is my son. Again, we all grew up together. We all know each other, the same thing, right? So, same conversations with Elijah. What are the things that you might have been hard on pops and your moms for, that now that you have kids, you like, oh man, I get it.
See,
that's a deep one right there.
Yeah. I'll say like patience. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, you know, when you a kid and mom and dad get on you, like, dang, like, you know what I'm saying? I just did it. Like, I got you next time or whatever. But like now it's like, you got to have that patience. Now I know, like, all right, it's hard to have that patience with the kids. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Especially at this age. And like, then again, like, they don't know no better. So like, that kind of helped. but just having patience and just trying to, instill into them what you need to instill into them.
Let's talk a little bit about legacy. I think now you're getting to the point where you're one of those premier guys. I mean, like at your position, at least for me, right? You are definitely. Talk to me about legacy. What is the type of legacy that you want to leave now that you're a father? What's that type of legacy you want to leave for the kids?
Just, somebody that, they know that loves them, you know what I'm saying? And somebody that shows them that I love them every day, somebody who, it's going to be some tough love in there too, but, like when they older, they going to appreciate that like I do now from my parents. But yeah, just somebody who shows love, man, protects them. They know when they with dad, they ain't got to worry about nothing. They protect it. I'm a provider, just stuff like a dad should be.
I love that. And you heard it here first. You are listening to Tough Talk with Coach P. We'll be right back after this commercial break.
For the ones putting in work when no one's watching. From the early risers to the late night ballers. Introducing Youngstar Creatine Gummies. The clean science-backed creatine gummy made for today's athlete. Boost strength, train harder, and recover faster. Youngstar, fueling today's future athlete. Youngstar.
All right, and welcome back to Tough Talk with Coach P. I am here with the man, the myth, the legend, NFL safety, Kamren Curl of the Los Angeles Rams. So we're going to talk a little bit about the journey. Not only was this young man a great high school player, great college player, and now a great NFL player, this dude was a difference maker back in the day as an 8-year-old. Talk to me about the goals back then. Now, when you were back there playing with Coastal, you remember Jeff? You remember that crew back there?
Jeff, Jacob, all them, Jeremiah. Yeah, all them.
When you were back there playing then, man, what was the goal? Were you thinking NFL then, or we was just trying to have fun?
It's like most of us just had fun, but like, as a kid, your imagination, I want to go to the NFL, but it was so far away, it's kind of hard to think about it. So I feel like we just were trying to have fun and win games, because that team at Coastal, we had a team. Like, we had a nice little team. Like, we ain't make it all the way, but we had a real squad. So it was just, just having fun and competing. That's really what it was about back then.
Man, I really wish that Elijah could have played on that team, but he couldn't make
what? We'd have been crazy. We'd have been so crazy.
That would have been crazy, man. That would have been crazy. And I'm still friends with a lot of those guys today. And back in that time, that's when your father and I, became really close. And, we went on to coach in high school and stuff like that together. So to seeing you guys leave from San Diego, man, it hurt me to my heart, man, because Greg was like maybe one of my best friends, man. That's no joke. I felt like I lost my brother for real when you left. But I understood what it was. So talk to me about that transition. Right? Moving from California, moving down south. Talk to me about that transition.
It was, it was kind of like a culture shock, especially like going from California to Oklahoma. It's a totally different world. Like on the football side of it, everybody talking about, these guys cornbread fed, like these big guys. Like, are you going to be able to play with them? Like that first year, like I just wanted to show everybody, like, I can play anywhere, I'm saying. And, my dad, he put me at quarterback, I feel like that was I feel like that was in his vision the whole time. Like, he wanted me to play quarterback all alone. Right. So, I played quarterback for a few years. We did our thing. Yeah, just had to prove everybody wrong. Cause, they talk about Cali, like, small speed guys. And you go down south, Oklahoma, Texas, all those states down south. It's like, these guys big down here. So, I just wanted to show them what I can do.
Trust me, I'm a Cowboy fan. Everybody knows that and your dad hates the Cowboys. So, that was our only point of contention. You understand what I'm saying? Not to get off subject, but I remember when you were in the draft, and man, I was hoping, man, I was praying, man. That's a prayer God didn't answer for me, man. Just so I could see Greg in that Cowboy jersey.
Yeah.
But I digress. So we're Oklahoma. We get to high school, right? Things are going well. You're balling. What made you stop playing on the offensive side of the ball? Well, I'm sure you played on the offensive side of the ball in high school, but when did you know I'm gonna make my bones playing defense?
When the offers started coming in, like some offers for receiver, but the big offer, like the Power 5 offers, was for DB. So when that started happening, it's like, I got to change my mindset. Because I wanted to play receiver. I wanted to go to college as receiver. But, you know, how they was coming in, they were like, no, you know, we like you more as a DB. So I just had to change my mindset. That was probably like my junior year. Because I got my first offer in March after my junior year season. So those started coming in, and it's like, yeah, I guess I'm a DB now.
Now you finish your high school career, very good high school career. You go on to college and you choose Arkansas. Why Arkansas? First of all, what? And again, people need to understand this is before the NIL era. And man,
Yeah.
I know, man, goodness gracious, right? You know what I'm saying?
It's crazy. No, I ain't
It's
had
before
nothing like
this
that.
man.
But,
So you decide
I
to go to
say,
Arkansas. What was the reason? What was the telltale reason that you decided to go there? Because you had offers from where else?
I mean, I had like Oklahoma, Texas. I had Ole Miss, Nebraska. I had like the whole Big 12 for real. I ain't have too many back West Coast. Like I had San Diego State, I think, but that was really it. It was because of the SEC. Honestly, I wanted to go play in that, you know, that type of competition, you know, because at that point, you know, that was undoubtedly the best conference in college football. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I wanted to go play. I only had Arkansas and Ole Miss. So, you know, we just talked about it, you know, in Fayetteville, Arkansas, that's like an hour 45 from Muskogee. So where everybody was staying. So, you know, was able to come to every game. So it was just how close it was and just playing in the SEC against the best competition.
You ball out in college, man. And you actually started as a freshman, right? As a true freshman. You played as a freshman, right? Man, so in the parallel of you playing as a freshman, maybe being overlooked by some of these other SEC teams, you step on campus and you're able to play with the big boys, play with a chip on your shoulder. You've always been a thumper, right? And I think that helped you, you know what I'm saying? A lot.
I ain't gonna lie. Being a thumper, I'll give that credit to Elijah.
Okay.
That's where I learned how to be a thumper. I ain't gonna lie to you. Cause you know, before we met y'all, all I knew was just running fast past everybody. And once I seen Elijah run that ball, I said, oh yeah, I gotta run it like that. I ain't gonna lie.
Man. And it's so crazy.
That thing, that's why I had to run it. I credit that to him.
Man, that's what's up, man. And I'm gonna let him know. And he's definitely gonna see this. And man, I'm sure. And it's weird because when he walked away from the game, it was just like, Dad, I don't want to play no more. And it was like, man, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But definitely, I man, that's crazy.
I'll say I can really like pinpoint the moment. Like, you remember we scrimmaged each other? I think I was playing for the Giants. I had Coach Kelly, big white dude, and y'all came to scrimmage us. Yes. And we were going back and forth. You know, Elijah doing his thing, I was doing my thing. I remember this one play where he was like running up the sideline, and I like tried to hit him out of bounds, and like it was a big argument, like, oh, he stepped over, he didn't.
Yes.
I remember that. Yeah. And when I hit him, like usually when I hit somebody like that, you know, they flying out of bounds. I look up, he's still running. I'm like, hold on. Like, oh, I gotta come with a little more. I gotta come with a little more now. Like, okay, it's somebody out here really stronger than me. So that was really when I was like, all right, I gotta be more physical.
Well, hey man, I'm glad we can help, man. I'm glad we can play a part.
I appreciate it.
Yes, you know what I'm saying? I'm glad we can play a small part. You know what I'm saying? I'm so glad, man. Because it showed on the field.
We don't chase. We create. They knock. They watch. We keep working. We keep building. We don't look up. Crowds form. We stay seated because the real ones find you. You don't gotta go nowhere. Just be true to self. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
And we didn't get a lot of Arkansas games out here. Every game that we got, I watched. I would call your dad, you know what I'm saying, when you did something positive, like, man, you
Yeah.
out there balling. And I remember when you were eligible for the draft, and you came on another show that we did, and I remember you telling me that when you were eligible for the draft, you were going. Didn't matter what you were projected to go. Talk to me about that mindset.
I really don't know where it came from, but that's just, that was the mission. You know what I'm saying? And when it came to time, it wasn't like I wasn't thinking about where I'd be drafted. It was just like I know I can make a team.
Right.
Like, and I feel like it's time. Like, it wasn't NIL. Like we was broke. We was still
Right.
struggling. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? So it's
Right.
like, nah, it's time to go make some money. I
Right.
was just like, man, I know I can make a team, man. I just put it all out there and just bet on myself.
So you get, it was the 7th round, right? You get picked in the
Mhm.
7th round
Pick
by
216.
216 by my
Yeah.
hometown team.
Mhm.
And although I'm a Cowboy fan, it was tough, man. It was tough
Yeah, I know.
because it was tough, man. But I rooted for you, and I was so proud of you. And then when you walk into camp, being a 7th round draft pick, they got other guys on the roster that, of course, and anybody that knows the business side, now it's the business side of the
Yeah.
NFL.
Yeah.
And you have to take advantage of every opportunity in order to come
Thanks.
to be a 7th round, especially in the situation where you were, where they had guys on the team that I believe that they like. Talk to me about that part of the game and how you stayed mentally focused in order to not only make the team, but ultimately become the starter.
Yeah. I mean, it was, when I think about it now, like I feel like I was just like in survival mode. Like I said, I left early. I ain't graduate. You know what I'm saying? My people don't got no money. So it's like, this it. This all I got. So I gotta do something with it. So that was just my mindset. And then going in, like, I'm a 7th round pick. Whatever I did in college wasn't working. So I gotta take everything to the next level. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I gotta like training, studying the playbook, taking care of my body, just gotta take everything to the next levels. We went into camp. It was a balls to the wall. Like, this all I got. I gotta make the most of this opportunity, and I made some plays and end up making that 53-man roster when it was all said and done.
Man, I remember watching some of the training camp stuff when you started to flash, like, and people started talking about this 7th round draft pick. Like, man, who is this kid? You know what I'm saying? Like, this kid is like all over the field. Again, I was so proud. I was like, I know this guy's going to be special. And then you not, again, make the team, but then also now you're the starter, right? So your time in Washington, you're there, you're the starter. And I know you won't say this, but I'll say this. They made a mistake, okay, by not re-signing you there. And you end up with the Los Angeles Rams, okay? A great situation, great organization, great head coach, great system on both sides of the ball. Talk to me about, first of all, how that felt after you did what you did in Washington. And I'm speaking for you, right? It was right. You should still Washington, okay?
Everybody know that was some stuff that went down, man.
Man, you know what I'm saying? But that transition, and then you end up with the Rams. Talk to me about that.
I mean, it was a blessing. After all that went down, and once I realized, they didn't want me back, it was just like, all right, now where we finna go? It was some teams in the mix, but once like Coach McVay called me and we had a long talk, like I knew what it was. I knew I was going to LA. And I knew about him, just from being in the league and just seeing him from afar. So like I always had respect for him. And I liked the way he did things, you know what I'm saying, and the teams he had, and it was just a blessing because they went to the playoffs the year before that, and we went like 4-13 or something, and for them to want to come grab me to come play on their defense, it was like another one of those, like, I gotta make the most out of this opportunity, this is like a second chance for real.
I mean, but you think about it, you've been getting it out the mud since you was 8 years old. You know what I'm saying? Coming to California, going to Oklahoma, having to prove yourself, and then getting Arkansas, having to prove yourself, 7th round draft pick, going to Washington, having to prove yourself again. And then you come to this defense where it's star-studded, and it's Los Angeles too. So, I mean, it's just the media is big, all this other stuff is big and it's different. You know what I'm saying? To have another opportunity. What I saw on the field, and I'm a coach, right? I saw that same mentality carry over to this Ram defense, and you became one of the leaders simply by always being where you're supposed to be, always making a tackle, that type of stuff where, there are guys that make flash plays, but it's like Cam Curl is just always where he's supposed to be. Like he's a consummate professional. Talk to me about that mentality, and especially in that framework of that Rams organization and championships and stuff like that is the standard.
Yeah. But yeah, like you said, like it's the organization, it's a winning organization. They got Super Bowl trophies in there, recent ones. So, and like I said, before I got there, they had just went to the playoffs. So it was just like, I'm coming in to a better organization, a better team. So it was like another one of those, like, all right, I gotta step my game up again, and just make the most out of this opportunity. Because, if I do, then we can really do something. We got Matthew Stafford on the other side. So, what I'm saying? We gotta try to do something. So, and then when I got there, I felt the love, you know what I'm saying? Coaches talking to me, like, saying they watched me at Washington, they're glad to have me. So once I felt welcome, you know what I'm saying? It was just like, all right, let's play some football. You know what I'm saying? And I've been doing that since I was 6. So that was the easy part.
You've always been a good kid. You know what I'm saying? You've always been a good kid. So fitting into a locker room, I don't think that's ever going to be an issue from you. And from everything that I read, that you one of those locker room guys. So that's what's up, man. I definitely commend you on that. So you get through that tenure, that first was it 2 years?
2-year deal
contract with the Rams, and now it's time. Okay, now we need the Quan. Now you got to show me. I'm out here having 2 interception games, forced fumbling. I'm leading the team in tackles, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. How does that go? Now I watched this interview about Sean McVay where he said that he wished he would have done things differently with Jared Goff. He wished he would have handled that situation in terms of communication with Jared Goff. How was the communication in your negotiation? Did you feel, without putting too much out there, did you feel like, oh man, this is where I'm at?
Nah, yeah, he probably over communicated with me. I heard from McVay so many times during that little period before we had agreed to terms, but that was just him again, showing me, he really wanted me, saying he really like appreciate the type of player I am. You know what I'm saying? That negotiating process, it's a kind of stressful situation because you're not knowing your agent talking with them and then he coming back with you information. But I feel like that whole time I feel like they wanted me back. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't really confused or, out the loop, about if they wanted me back because, coaches were calling me, and then, the offers they were throwing our way, you know what I'm saying? So, and I knew like, everybody talk about California, the taxes, you know what I'm saying? All that, But, if you take all that away and just talk about football, like it would be a no-brainer to come back to the Rams. That was my mindset. So once, I'm talking to my agent, we trying to figure out, what was the best route to go. We just came down to, this is the best place for me to be. This is the best organization for me to be. Like, I developed real well over these past 2 years with them. McVay called me the first time I hit free agency and he told me what we was going to do. Like we did that. I got all my trust in this organization. So that's why it was easy to come back.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. All right. We're going to take a quick break. You are listening to Tough Talk with Coach P. I am here with the great Kamren Curl, safety from the Los Angeles Rams, also father, mentor, and great overall young man. We'll be right back. And welcome back to Tough Talk with Coach P. I am here with the great Kamren Curl, safety from the Los Angeles Rams. And we talked about fatherhood. We also talked about his journey from youth to high school to college to now being in my opinion, one of the premier safeties in the league. And one question that I need to ask when we're talking about this contract negotiations, and it's a very important question, Cam. Did the Cowboys ever reach out? Did they ever reach out to you, Cam?
We really didn't even get to that point. I ended up agreeing before, the market had opened. So we didn't really get a chance to talk to really, any other team, but, we was just gauging what the market would be, and, we just knew we was coming back to the Rams. But I seen they did sign a safety, know, so if we would've, went to the market, then, they probably would have hit us up for sure.
Man. Okay. I'm just going to leave that there. All right, man. You know how I feel about the boys. And, I'm saying it is what it is, but I'm a lightweight Rams fan right now, man.
Yeah.
I'm definitely proud of you. I mean, listen, I like the team. I really love Matthew Stafford. You understand what I'm saying? I love Sean McVay. I love the culture of the team. You know, more than anything, I'm a football fan. I think the Rams organization really does it right. To say luck has nothing to do with it. You worked your ass off to get to where you are, but you're in a great situation though, for your career. How do you see, you know, this next 3 years and beyond? You know, how do you see that going? I think you guys have an opportunity to win a Super Bowl. I was really rooting for you guys in this last season, and you know, I know that was a disappointing end. But how do we get back on the horse? What are we doing in the off season? What are we doing now to get back to where we were?
You know, just taking it one day at a time. You know, the goal is Super Bowl, but you know, we can't win it tomorrow. Just taking it one day at a time. You know, we're in OTAs right now, so learning the defense, you know, getting back with the coaches, with the players, you know what I'm saying? We get a little break, then we in the training camp, and then we're going to hit the ground running, but just taking it one day at a time, man, because, you know, I'm at a great organization, and we win a lot of games, but, you know, you can't get ahead of yourself because it's the NFL. It's any given Sunday for real. Yeah, just taking it one day at a time, you know. Like I said, we can't win it tomorrow, so just making sure we stacking days in the right direction, you know, and in the OTAs right now, but then we start practicing next week, so, you know, just getting these live reps in, you know, and then once we come back from a little break, training camp, hit the ground running, and then just take it one day at a time, one game at a time.
You don't just show up, you show out every damn day. This ain't your average energy boost. Young Star Energy Gummies give today's future athletes clean fuel with real results. No jitters, no crash, just straight up energy and faster bounce back. Clinically shown to support energy, muscle recovery, and cellular health. Young Star, stay lit, recover quick, and level up.
Now you're an elder statesman in the league. I mean, you like a vet for real now.
Yeah.
What message do you have for young guys, right? That, you know, can see themselves in you, right? That are following in the footsteps that you're following in. What bit of advice do you have for those young guys now?
Man, I say just put your head down and work. Like, you know, that's all I did. You know, and then when your opportunity come, you got to show them, you know, but just work, man. Stay in your book, stay in your playbook, stay available. You know, the best ability is availability. You know, that's the name of the game in this league, you know, because it's always next man up, you know, so just taking care of your body, and then when those opportunities come, just make the most of it.
Man, that's what's up. So let's talk about, and we'll end with this. Let's talk about what you got going on off the field. I see a lot of the camps and stuff that you post. I see the clothing line, which I think is very dope, that you post and stuff like that. And I'm gonna need some shirts, man, because each week I wear a different t-shirt, man. I need some shirts.
Okay. All right, bet. Okay. Yeah, we got you.
So I see that. Talk to me about what you got going on, how they can get with you. You know, just whatever you got going on that you want to spotlight.
Well, like you said about the camps, you know, I do a camp back in Oklahoma every year, a free camp for all the kids, you know, just come compete, you know, and see me, you know what I'm saying, just to show them, you know, I'm just like y'all, you know, y'all can make it like I did. And I actually got one in LA this year. It's going to be the first one in LA. It's July 19th. They haven't picked a high school yet, but they should soon. But that'll be my first one out here. Hoping to do that every year as well. And you know, the clothes, my marketing guy, Raleigh, you know, he do most of it, because I don't really, you know, deal with all the extra stuff. But, you know, he be putting stuff together. Him and my little sister, Ayana, you know, they be putting designs and stuff together.
Shout out Ayana. Shout out
Ayana. She take care of the camps, too. Like, Ayana do it all behind the scenes. But
Ayana, hold up. Ayana, get at Coach P, man. We got to get you guys out to San Diego, man. Ayana, get at me, man. Come on.
But yeah, she take everything, man. She been a blessing to me. You know, she be wanting to be a part of it. So, you know, I let her do all that stuff that I don't want to do because it won't get done. You know, I just be worried about football. But, you know, we got the camp, we got the, you know, the clothes. They usually drop them like after I have a good game. They'll probably drop some new stuff during the season. But we got hoodies, t-shirts, then we got shorts, and you know, other stuff. I be chilling, being a dad. I partnered with the Right Way Foundation out here. It's a foundation. It's based on, you know, kids outgrowing foster care, you know, when they get to a certain age, they basically get kicked out the foster home. So I think that's like 50% of the homelessness in LA. So, when I heard that, I was like, dang, like that's crazy. So, I just wanted to help out. And I do my thing helping out with them. And they put them in jobs, they put the kids in jobs, they put them in schools, like, whatever they want to do. So, they do, a variety of things, and I just, that rubbed me away. So, I just felt like, I needed to help out. But other than that, I don't really got nothing else going on. Just, getting ready for the season.
One last thing. I do a rapid fire, and it's just quick, right?
Mm-hmm.
Quick. So rapid fire real quick. And it's going to be questions. Some of them are football related. Some of them are not, right? And it's, okay. So what's the most underrated player that you played with? And it could be high school, it could be college, it could be pros.
Most underrated I didn't play with? I say my dog Jamari. We played from 6th grade to senior year in Oklahoma. He probably one of the fastest dudes I played with. And it's crazy because he missed most of our senior year. He tore his ACL. So we went to Texas Tech camp in Oklahoma. He's out there trying out. He was trying to get an offer, and he messed up his knee. And, they went and got it tested, and it was basically like, man, yo, ACL been messed up.
Wow.
Like, he been running like 4.3, 4.4 with a torn ACL. So like, man, what the heck? Like, that was crazy. But yeah, man, we missed him my senior year, but he probably one of the most underrated I done played with. He went and did his thing out in Germany. He was out there breaking records out in Germany. Now he's trying to get in with like some UFL or some CFL stuff.
Man, that's what's up. That's what's up. Okay. What's the hardest hit that you delivered that you can remember? You was like, oh man, that's a snot bubble.
The hardest hit I delivered? I don't know. Cause I feel like it's different. I done got stronger. But like high school, I was knocking people helmets off in high school. Like I got a couple of people who helmets I knocked off in high school. I say that I ain't did it since. Everybody bigger and stronger now.
Nah, it's coming. It's coming.
Yeah.
Just don't do it.
I ain't gonna lie. If I knock the helmet off, they might fine me. So I don't even want that no more.
Right.
Yeah, I don't even want that.
I forgot y'all get fined for everything.
I just get them
socks,
on the ground.
the hits and everything. I forgot. But, okay, so we don't wish that, or we don't want. That's not coming. That's not coming. Okay, what's the biggest misconception that people have about NFL players?
The biggest misconception? They be trying to say everybody got CTE.
Right.
Like, I don't know why they be saying that. Like, we play a violent game. Right. Like, everybody not messed up. You gotta, right. I ain't gonna lie. You gotta be a little messed up to play football, but
you have to
I'm saying like we not, we ain't got no CTE. You know what I'm saying? Right. We still citizens. We still, good in the head. You know what I'm saying?
All right. And lastly, what's your favorite movie of all time? Favorite movie of all time?
Favorite movie of all time? I don't know. Let me see. I'll say Spider-Man.
Hey.
The original Spider-Man with
right.
Tobey Maguire. Is that his name? Yeah, with him. That was like my first ever favorite movie. So I say that's my favorite movie. But yeah, I love Spider-Man.
All right. That's what's up, man. That was just our Tough Talk rapid fire. So at this point, before I let you go, man, one thing that I always do to young brothers that come on to the show, doesn't matter who they are, man, I'm going to speak life into them. And, our relationship is different because, Cam, I love you for real, man. That's no joke. You know what I'm saying? And you know that. That's why
I love you too.
Yeah, man. I know you do, man. And I appreciate you. And I'm so proud of you, man. You know what I'm saying? To see you as a father, to see what you're doing on the field. I just want to remind you that you are a king. All right. That everything that you do, man, is going to turn to gold, man. And I'm here for you for whatever you need. I'm just down the street. If you just family, friends, whatever, you need a home cooked meal, man, being the wife way. Man, I love you for real, man. I'm so very proud of you, man. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep building the legacy. And I know it's going to reach past football. Football is just the catalyst for all the great things that you're going to do to come, man. Tell your father, stop hating on my Cowboys.
I will.
You know what I'm saying? It's all good, man. You know what I'm saying? And I really appreciate you, young brother. You are listening to Tough Talk with Coach P. I'm here with the great Kamren Curl, and we'll be right back after this commercial break.
The Standard is a youth mentorship program empowering young men ages 8 to 14 through athletics, personal growth, and structured guidance. Built on the values of discipline, teamwork, and integrity, The Standard connects sports with life lessons to help participants develop confidence, leadership, and strong character on and off the field.
And welcome back to Self Talk with Coach P. We've had an amazing episode. It was a nostalgic one where we went down memory lane with one of the premier safeties in the NFL, Kamren Curl. To say that I'm proud of this young man would be an understatement. To see the father that he's become, more than just the football player, the man that he has become, the father that he wants to be, the legacy that he wants to leave for his family. The reason why he actually went into the NFL to really put that responsibility on his back and change the frequency, so to speak, for his family's future. And I really do love this young man for real. And I wish him all the success, all the things that I said to him. I meant that from the bottom of my heart. So again, listen to Tough Talk with Coach P. You're going to get some jewels out there. We're giving you something that these other guys are not. Also, please follow us on all social media. Coach P Tough Talk. Follow us on Spotify so you won't miss any of the episodes. Tough Talk with Coach P. Do yourself a favor and tap in with your boy. You are listening to Tough Talk with Coach P. I am your man, Coach P. I'm out.
Gotta give it up for Coach. Big shout out to the coaches. Shout out to the coaches. You see, my coach, he believed in me since jump. I'm a product of his coaching. Gotta give it up for Coach. Big shout out to the coaches. Shout out all the coaches. Yeah. You see, my coach, he believed in me since jump. I'm a product of his coaching. Gotta give it up for Coach.